Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Last time we left off, we were just doing the witness testimony of Miss Oldbag. God, the most annoyingest person in the whole entire Phoenix Wright series. My opinion, really, but God, from what I've read on the new Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies, she is not in that game. Anyways, and now, Mr. Edwards just said that the witness saw the victim. So, and the judge just said, excuse me, folks. Judge just said, that he can hand down his verdict. And we just said, "Are you sure, Your Honor?" "I object to your sureness, Your Honor." Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else was caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. Oh my God, Your Honor, are you... Your Honor, you are stupid. You do not... We're talking about the photo. Do you see Will Powers in that photo? I don't think so. Anyways, we have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. No, we don't need to hear the witness's testimony. The time... Sorry, folks. Hey, my buttons again on my mic. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30, true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So, if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may begin the cross-examination the witness. Gladly, Your Honor. Well, there's one thing that caught my interest. No one else went there. Pretty sure it says photo 2. So, what do you say to that, Miss Oldbag? Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate of the studios, correct? Yes, sir, Sonny. So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. Here I thought you didn't know. You didn't know your head from the hole in the ground. Really? Right. Anyways, it's also true that the computer in the security guard records all security cam data. Oh, you see? You know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo were printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m. Photo number 2. Even I know what that means. It was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Damn, are you a idiot, Miss Oldbag? Oh wait, you are. As long as with half the other people around here in this game. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Your Honor, are you really that stupid? That's photo number 2. So if that was the only photo that day, wouldn't that be number 1? How stupid can you get? Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. The evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet, there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the other data for the other photo? Oh, sorry. I guess I jumped to the conclusions a little bit too early, folks. Only someone with access to the security... The only someone with access. The security lady herself. What do you... Watch your mouth, whippersnapper! The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. Wait. I know I probably said this before, folks, but... If Jack Hammer went to the studio... Before Miss Oldbag got to the gate, wouldn't that make it, shouldn't that be photo 3 so there should be... I'll get to that in a minute, folks. Sorry. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to me. Care to explain this to the... Can the witness explain this to the court? I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help! Believe me, I want to, but I don't even know what it means either. Someone with that you're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper. Something the matter, Miss Oldbag? Ah, that's right. I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai. Could that be Jack Hammer? 'Cause I mean, that would make sense, since he was the one that went by there first. Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. I see. Your testimony, please. Another person. Now we'll find out who the first photo is, folks. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer, check them, throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see? Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day. Who was on that photo? Miss Oldbag. This is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it. Right. Anyway, Miss Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kinda expected this. Okay, nothing you can really present here, folks. She threw one foot away that day. Can we get more description on who was on it? Well, who the heck was in that photo you erased? A fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals and from gosh knows where. They're always hanging out about. One was there that day. Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the gate so no one else could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. Oh, right. The gate has been loosened for a while. It leads outside, and, well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain? I told you, they're freaks! Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids! So, on that photo you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Wait, if that photo was a kid, then the second one was the Steel Samurai. Where's the photo of Jack Hammer going to the studio? Am I not the only one who notices this? Oh, order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh, yes. Well, we've seen his type there every day. Can't stop them, can't catch up. A boy in 2nd, 3rd grade? I assumed it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. I like to take 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Mr. WP. Yes? Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go. I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest. So, who was the Steel Samurai in the security photo? How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone who wants to steal a Steel Samurai costume. Oh, I can think of one! I'm pretty sure Maya would love to steal it. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we gonna do? First, we play for a little more time. We'll start by targeting someone else that could have conceivably have done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? That... Please don't sigh like that. I think we're almost done here, folks, so I'm just going to finish this off. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you please present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else who committed this crime. I call for a guilty verdict for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well, Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? Well, I blame you, Miss Oldbag! It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. What? Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There is only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper! Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you! Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She knew she was by herself. In other words, she had no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai's costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Well, why would she go to the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai's costume? Simply, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point fingers at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah. Right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby! That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't it usually jump with some objection and some new damning evidence? Meaning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something! What's my move? Maybe now is my chance to take... Maybe's now my chance to take this the whole way. Give Granny a break? No! I don't like her! So press further! The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day. But, why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Yeah. Sorry, folks. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy. The one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade school. Though, as you said, second or third grade, was it? That doesn't matter. When I was in that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Or is it to be nice to kids and mean to your elders? Elders Day, whippersnapper? I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Then let us see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder? Yeah. Everyone who needs to go to the Studio 1 has a key card. So, the scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a key card to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studio have a key card? I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The Windbag. Speechless? This has got to be a first. Very well. The court will now suspend the proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy... What was her last name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. Court is adjourned. Wait a second. I'm not going to just sit by here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me! I'm talking. Ugh. Oh, great. Stop the presses. The Windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? You have omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there is something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? But by whom? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. This is going on a lot longer than I expected, folks, but that's okay. Global Studios warned me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on that day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to accuse me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Oh, God. Miss Oldbag. This is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap. I always do what I'm told. But you admit nothing in your testimony in the court of law, you dumb... Sorry for my full English, folks. Bitch! You... Doesn't matter if you're supposed to keep your trap... If they told you to keep your trap shut or not, you do not admit anything in your testimony. God, why are people idiots in this game? No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Oh, no, I love this. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. The witness the power of the old bag! Oh, I was waiting for that. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination? My lips were sealed. Let's see. Who was there? Who were these people? Well, the director and the prosecutor for starters. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of the action scene without a director? Of course. Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So, where were these people? The director was in the employees area all morning for the run-through. He joined the procedure around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in that Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? There's a Studio 2? Yeah, there was a branching path. Didn't you see it, Phoenix? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. Oh, it's also on the guide map if you looked. You go through the gates and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head had fallen over. Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've asked all my questions, but... we're good. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer, and some big wigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledged the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceeding in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. The court is now adjourned. Oh, finally. Sorry, folks. Once again, I didn't expect it to take this long. Yeah, what else is new with my LP? Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Aw, it's really nothing. Or should I say... We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses, for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick... Excuse me, sorry folks. Have we figured out just who was in the Steel Samurai costume? Could it really been old Windbag? What do you think? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it really was hers, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just trying to buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I kind of feel sorry for her. Yeah, I don't. She could rot in hell for all I care. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studio. Right. We'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Well, folks, that is the end of the trial. So, which means this is the end of this video. In our next episode, we are going to go into our next day of investigation. So please join me next time as we continue Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Hope to see you then.